Let there be peace and love. Welcome to Satsang. When one keeps anything in mind, it automatically creates different opinions. If I take a cup and full of tea, I hope, some would say the cup has to be empty to realize the self. The cup has to be empty. And surely some would say, oh, but no, what about all this? The cup has to be full to include everything. And so on, endless different opinions, which creates, of course, misery or happiness to be right. So for self-realization, there is no cup. In fact, to feel even I'm somebody is a concept. It is to keep something. So, if the cup has to be broken, or simply it dissolves because it is seen as something, where are the opinions? What for? To whom? They belong. So liberation means to be freed from believing that the mind is real. It appears, but its nature is unreal. Very difficult to understand, yet trust that direction, and you can realize it yourself by questioning who believes I'm somebody, who believes I'm a cup. Meanwhile, I drink my cup of tea. Who wants to share?
Yes.
Say?
Yes.
Wants to. Any question about that? Please ask if there is any unclarity. Clarity is not realization, but this mind has to be clear to understand, to take the right direction. So, what do you think is the right direction? What is wrong direction is when you can always say, oh, I describe it, I can feel it, I can know it. It's not this. And if you feel the opposite, oh, I can describe it, I feel it, I know it, not that. Not this, not that. It's called neti-neti. That's about the cup empty or full. Now if you want to break the cup, who has the idea of being a cup, something? Who? that burns everything else. And that so-called direction dissolves by itself from where it comes. So just see for yourself where you land, where you don't question. It's a good spot to question everything, even the impossible, which is I am born. The mind will slip immediately. Oh, that's too mad. We have to run away. To question why I am born? Yes. Who is born? So anything, you must have made already so much effort to come and be attracted by satsang, even to be curious. Even to be curious, it means there was a space, even a very small gap, empty enough to have this attraction, which leads to something completely else than the appearance. So you must have a certain luggage, certain experiences, a search. So try to precise it.
Ganga,
Yes.
you say for self-realization there is no cup, and I know there shouldn't be this duality, but still for life I keep the idea of the cup and that there is the progress of it.
Yes, right. It appears so. So if for you, naturally, if the body doesn't die, the mind doesn't die, this will appear, you see. So you just know this is an appearance. Who I am in reality is not this. And the appearance has its own belongings and life. Everything else which appears belongs to this body-mind. So let it flow. Let it flow where it has to flow. But who are you? This takes a split second only to just drop the search, even though all the appearance may be the same, may appear the same. So there is no, in fact, there is no excuse, because this life that you want or not continues. It's a flow. It's an appearance which goes on changing all the time, infinitely. On what it appears, if you see a bird, it's because of the space. But we only are concentrated on an object, on a bird, for example. We forget the space. In the same way, this world appears. Where? Who am I in reality? That's the answer. Not an answer, an information given to the mind, but an answer by being it as you always are, realizing it. What is there? The same question is there.
There is more distance now from the appearance. And
do you see that this question, this what you bought, it is an activation of the mind? You have to enter it. It's your choice, after all, to enter into the activation, into the movement of the mind or not. If you enter into the mind, everything which will appear in the mind is an appearance only. If you just abide in yourself, you can see an appearance or not. You don't need to feed the appearance. It flows that you are the doer or not. It is the way of your own real self, of the self to be. It is at the same time this apparent existence and this unmanifested self. At the same time. But in order to realize the self, it looks, since one is identified with the appearance, it looks like the one who sees, who believes is someone, this life is real, he has to question himself. Is the only exit from the mind. Means the mind disappears. Ask this question and tell me what's coming up. Is there anything coming up?
yes, still there is a battle.
There is what?
A battle?
A battle. A battle, yeah. Okay. Who sees the battle? Who? Go there. You cannot be in the battle. Battle? 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 Battle.
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 Battle or bottle?
Well, anyway, it's a bottle, not battle. It's contained battle. Who sees the battle? You said bottle or battle? Anyway, it's something. Who sees it? If you see it, it means that you are not it. This question obliges you to ungrasp, otherwise you don't ask the question. You are unable to ask this question. Do you see that? If you ask, who is seeing this? If you remain in seeing, you can't go into the direction of who's seeing this. Do you see that? Then keep quiet. Don't catch the coming thought Just, do you see that? You see, we are so used to work as mind that one is not aware that he is all the time bound by the mind, instead of simply realizing he's never bound. Because even if I feel and experience and have plans in time, it will be seen it's an appearance. So what's going on? I don't understand. You have to tell me, otherwise how can I?
I am in a position where I see.
Okay, so keep quiet. Keep quiet. I mean, don't catch anything which will rise just now. Just let it appear and disappear. So you just understand what is mind and don't confuse what you are for the mind. Still, if there is any question about it, you have to ask. It has to be very clear. You see, all these kind of efforts, it's because one doesn't take it. You are already yourself. Your true nature, you never leave it. It's never absent. The thing is, the mind cannot make it an object, an image, a concept, a feeling, even an understanding. And if it does, it's just unreal, it's fake, it will not tell the truth. Because the mind comes after. It is rising, disappearing in this undivided, ever-present reality. And that you are. Everybody is it. The difference is that some people believe the mind and some not. Do you see the direction? Do you see the direction where the mind brings you? Do you see the direction when this subjective thought brings you? Is it the same direction?
No.
No. The direction of the mind brings you stones. The thought, subjective thought, to bring you back where you never left, in fact, brings you the diamond. It's valuable, most valuable, not for the mind, because he has to surrender. That it is his problem.
like the mind as an expression outside cannot see its reality, and also it's a condition for the mind to look for security. And it doesn't really like know that the outside that control that work. If you feel that there is no security, so it holds itself to itself because it's afraid of not having security, or like because it's kind of a survival mechanism that it thinks it is the thinking that everything will finish. And
yeah, everything doesn't finish. The self is just now expressing the whole thing. What will finish? Just the confusion of somebody to think, in reality I'm part of that. No, in reality I appear to be part of that. In reality I am myself. And to question the subject I is the end of survival feeling for the mind. That's why it's very reluctant to do it even once. He will pretend he doesn't understand. He will pretend it's just nothing, it's boring, what for? See, because he will not survive. It will just be seen as an appearance, not as reality, as one thinks.
Ganga? I would like to ask you for a comment on something which I read in Nothing Ever Happened. Papaji was talking about world peace.
About?
World peace.
World peace.
World peace. And he said that the great gurus, masters, for instance, who lived in the first part of the 20th century in India, didn't really care about if there is peace around them or war, because they knew that world peace cannot be achieved. Because the world, by its nature, is always full of disturbances.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to know what your comment.
It's beautifully. You read a beautiful saying, which surely will remove a lot of concepts. Is, what can I say? I cannot comment my own master. But of course, the world, first of all, what is the world? The world is appearance. And what does it mean, an appearance? In other words, it's duality. There are two, which means myriads of things. Duality. And what means duality? Coming, going, starting, ending. And opposites are there. Black, white, wrong opinion, right opinion, And that's why there are wars. So, and that's why it is called samsara. This duality, when one doesn't realize it, is self, is real samsara. Because one has this suffering to hop from one direction to another, which is always inherent to duality. Inherent, you say. You cannot change that. You cannot make two one. It's impossible. It's not the nature of things. So world peace, maybe for a while, but it will go also. He's right, totally right. What can I say? I learned from him after all. So one is bound by his own suffering when he doesn't know what's real. And duality is not reality. It comes and goes. It goes on changing all the time. It depends on the seer, on the doer, on the subject. That's why the key is to make self-inquiry. Self-inquiry. Inquiring to see, in fact, that everything comes and goes, and that all this duality depends on one point, I. If I doesn't wake up, there is no world, no war, no peace, no idea even about that. So that I, who is depending on what he grasps, and the grasping depending on this I, has to be questioned. Is there any I as something? Who am I? Where are you left when you question I? Do you see any duality when you question I and keep quiet? The senses see, the senses belong to this seeming reality. I'm not what I can see or experience. I'm not even the experiencer. I don't see your face, but no, I don't see. You see dual. There is light there, but okay. Darkness. Are you landing somewhere? I don't see. Oh, you are quiet. What has to be clarified more? Without picking up a new thought, what has to be clarified more?
I don't know what to say.
I like it. It's a very good comment.
During these satsangs, and I've been enjoying your indications. But somehow, after listening to them so many times,
Yeah. Wonderful.
but when I go with this question, who am I? And it leads me to a point where I don't have an answer,
Yeah.
and the mind doesn't like it. And in this point, as you said, that the mind doesn't surrender.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also an idea. We give so much existence to this mind. It's also an idea. Drop it. Drop it. And don't take it back. One can only keep quiet once he has seen everything is an idea. Except himself, because it cannot become an idea. Then you just keep quiet. You don't listen to your mind. Whatever he will say now. You see that? mind is for the world. It works. Life goes on with mind, and it doesn't mean you are lost. The time runs. Suddenly, any moment, because you have this beloved, your own self, you have a mad attraction for it. You know the value of it. Suddenly, he will just whisper to you, "What are you doing?" And you stop. And you be with that voice of wisdom. Nothing happened. For that, you have to give value to this. Know that this is what all the Master and the Scriptures tries to tell us.
I want to ask something.
Yes.
Yes. So, the world goes on and works with the mind. And then there are so many options and things that one can choose or directions to go. So, I often have a problem with choosing, like, okay, so if I can do this or that or that or that, then how to choose? That's often...
I cannot tell for you, but you have to ask, for example, there is a urgency, and in life you have to see what is a priority, what I would like to experience or know before I die, at least, so that my life is meaningful for me.
Mm-hmm.
And you go for it.
Yes.
It's very important to know what you really want. Because otherwise, you see, you may go to a fish market to buy roses. It will not really work. And not like that. You will be in confusion. So first precise, and of course, one may not know exactly in the beginning, but at least know that you try to see what's your priority and fulfill that. It can go on changing also. Once you fulfill one thing, maybe something else comes. You have to see. You have to see. And some people, definitively, that's how satsang is created. They have the desire for freedom. Not the outside freedom necessarily. To be freed from confusion or illusory things. Maybe I will. It's easier somewhere. There is also some space. Tu viens par ici. No, it's too much. Come on. Everybody's more or less at ease. Welcome to Satsang. You see, it's quiet, but probably in your mind there is a lot of ideas and branches for the monkey to jump on, isn't it? Eh? So one good thing, whatever you see, let it be outside, let it be inside, all your thought, feelings, whatever. You can describe them. You know them. You can experience them. feel. All what the mind and the senses can take is not your real nature. Your real nature is always there. And what you see, can describe, feel, comes from it, disappear in it. So, to be peace, to be joy, you can dedicate a second. Using your eyes, it's easier. Close your eyes. A second to your own self, what's real, which is always with you and you don't know what it is. It's totally natural. The mind will never know what it is. But at least rest there, keep quiet. That is the most precious gift you can give to yourself, to know this refuge of peace. You can trust it. Oh. Is there anything? Whoa.
I know what it is. What is it? I'm not telling you.
Oh, there is
It's watermelon. Oops.
the nature of what it is.
I also know what it is. Feel.
What's going on?
You need to give the ideas to Ganga.
Yeah,
Should be full of
Oh, can I have a seedless one?
Thank you. I'm sorry. No, it's perfect.
Thank you.
A refreshing prasad.
Thank you.
Please, come. Please. What she will become. Please.
Thank you.
It's a big one, huh?
behind you. There's a little girl. And she does it.
Thank you.
You can.
Thank you.
One more little girl. Yeah.
Sarah.
Sarah is here.
Come. Yeah, okay, sorry. Come on. Atma Bodha. Atma Bodha was written by Shankaracharya. It's one of those great Pope of Advaita in the past. Just as the fire is the direct cause for cooking, so without knowledge, no emancipation can be had. Compared with all other forms of discipline, knowledge of the self is the one direct means for liberation. Action cannot destroy ignorance, for it is not in conflict with or opposed to ignorance. Knowledge does verily destroy ignorance, as light destroys deep darkness. The soul, the I we would say today, appears to be finite because of ignorance. When ignorance is destroyed, the self, which does not admit of any multiplicity, truly reveals itself by itself, like the sun when the clouds pass away. Constant practice of knowledge purifies the self stained by ignorance, and then disappears itself. Yeah, this I will not say because it's too Indian things. The world, which is full of attachments, aversions, opposites, is like a dream. It appears to be real as long as it continues, but appears to be unreal when one is awake with the true wisdom. The world appears to be true so long as Brahman, the substratum, the basis of all this creation, is not realized. It is like the illusion of silver in the mother of pearl. Like bubbles in the water, the worlds rise, exist, and dissolve in the Supreme Self, which is the material cause and the prop of everything. All the manifested world of things and beings are projected by imagination upon the substratum, which is the self, eternal, all-pervading, whose nature is existence, intelligence, just as the different ornaments are all made out of the same gold. Yeah, one is very attracted by shapes. The mind is all shapes. They first see, but it's gold, all those ornaments. Like that. Because of its association with different conditionings, such ideas as caste, color, position are superimposed upon the self as flavor, color. Oh, that's what I said. I insist. Are superimposed on water. Yeah. So, of course, one has to be attracted to hear this. And the attraction is if somebody has the desire to know this self, the wise men speak about. You see, it's not an object, that's sure. It's well said, it's the substratum, which will never be objectified, which will never be experienced, nor understood. All the rest are bubbles in water. Bubbles are water. But we speak of bubbles because of the shapes and the forms. That's it. So if one is attracted to satsang and doesn't understand, can ask. This is the place for it.
I think I heard a sentence that the self is the physical cause of existence or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Physical, I don't know. No, not
but
the
it was more or less like that word.
Yeah, I know something. Bad translation. The physic comes or some simply appear. You see, we don't need to say comes from. It simply appear on what you are, and disappear. So that this knowledge becomes a fact for oneself. It's true that one needs first that desire, intense desire for freedom, perseverance. Some moments have to be dedicated to go into that direction, or to simply take, I am always myself, and all the rest is just imagination. Some time has to be dedicated, not long. A drop is enough, but perseverantly. It will work. Because you see the mountain of myriads of concepts sustained by the world, by so many beings of this planet who think differently. You see, one has to build the strength to trust this. It's birth. It's peace. Nobody detained peace. Nobody detained the secret of peace. Is when someone has seen himself that actually all these somebodies are just appearances. Then peace dawns there. It is what is. It's not the possession of somebody. Otherwise we fall into duality again. Yes?
To see the appearances, I heard from another satsang, not friend and not enemy, just only appearances. It's good to hear that. And the appearance is not
appearances,
appearances,
okay, yeah.
not apart from me. These are arises and falls in who I really am. So,
be yourself. So be yourself. Yes. Yes. You see that. From where can you see that? From where?
So it's not a fight. It's
See by yourself. If you are into fight, it means you are in the yo-yo of the mind.
yeah.
Who is in fight? Who fights? Just bring that movement, bring it back from where it arose, because we gave so much trust to movements of the mind. Now we have to again and again keep back that movement, that rope, back from where it can appear. And that back is what you are, but the mind denied it. So for a period of time, the mind has to abdicate. Helpless, hopeless, what more? Colorless road, meaningless. He cannot enter here. It is not his capacity to realize reality. It's realized the moment it dissolves, it disappears from where it could appear. And that's your own self, that's what you are. You are that. It's written in the scriptures. You are that. The mind is this and that. But you are that. Big eyes. You make big eyes.
Because suddenly I have
Anybody wants to tell anything apart from you?
Then when you say drop it, okay, you have that thought, okay, drop it. Then it's like you said before, It calls for more repentance.
Yes, my dear. So keep quiet. It's simple. It's simple.
It's like the big eye.
Yeah, it was a good language. Pass. Oh. And you, like? Good.
There are questions. There are some questions, but
Oh, why don't you ask them? Because they are not interesting.
yeah, that's what because I feel like I don't want to give importance to it. I can see it's intellectual, and so that's why I didn't ask. And even in this moment,
And you are so proud that you don't want to ask?
oh, is that? Yeah.
Maybe, who knows?
Maybe.
Ah, it's up to me to tell, to discard it,
Okay.
maybe?
Yes, I ask.
You never know?
Yeah.
Maybe you just keep a very dear concept. You never know when you are tricked by your mind. Satsang is created for that, you see. To just throw out what is in.
Yes.
Till there is no more, nothing, anything to throw.
Yeah.
And one is naturally quiet.
Yeah. So this question was related when the other question about decision was coming up and how to make decision. And because I heard or read somewhere else of this, maybe an idea that there is no one who is actually choosing, and this idea that we don't really have free will, we can't really choose.
Ramesh Balsekar.
Huh?
It's from Ramesh Balsekar, probably,
I
or some
don't know.
disciples, yeah.
Yeah. And
actually, it's very, very true. But you see, if somebody hears it, then maybe it gives excuse to, anyway, this liberation will come whenever it has to come. I don't do anything for it. That would be wrong. So if I speak to somebody, I would say, choose. If I speak to your own self, there is no doer. That's the truth. You can choose now. One has to really want to liberate himself from ignorance, illusion, whatever name it gives, suffering, to be himself, to be the self. It will not come open mouth. It will come in the contrary. You have to close your wrist, your guts. You have to be fiery. Thank you very much.